Obama's pissed as Trump pulls out of Iran deal and reveals his darkest secret. By Rebecca DeCirio, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. President Donald Trump is making it official, defying all the globalists and naysayers by pulling out of the disastrous Iran nuke deal. This was Barack Obama's deal, one he viewed as a huge shining accomplishment. Now the former president and his minions are freaking out as Trump dropped another bombshell revealing Obama's darkest secret that he thought no one would ever know. Former President Barack Obama told us he was saving us from all-out war. He said that if we didn't sign on to his brilliant foreign policy accomplishment called the Iran deal, America would regret it, as we watched Iran become a nuclear state who would immediately go to war. As a candidate, Donald Trump called out the Iran nuke deal as the worst deal ever. He promised Americans he would pull out of the deal. He kept that promise today, but it was not easy. President Trump had the entire European community, especially France and Germany, begging him to stay in the deal. In the end, Trump reinstated the toughest nuclear economic sanctions on Iran, making it clear there is a new sheriff in town saying, "I will sign a presidential memorandum reinstating the highest level of economic sanctions on the Iranian regime, and any nation caught helping Iran could also be strongly sanctioned. America will not be held hostage to nuclear blackmail." Okay. POTUS Trump hashtag Iran deal is defective. At its core, I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran deal. We couldn't watch it over there, but anyway.
Today, I want to update the world on our efforts to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. The Iranian regime is the leading state sponsor of terror. It exports dangerous missiles, fuels conflicts across the Middle East, and supports terrorist proxies and militias such as Hezbollah, Hamas, the Taliban, and Al-Qaeda. Over the years, Iran and its proxies have bombed American embassies and military installations, murdered hundreds of American service members, and kidnapped, imprisoned, and tortured American citizens. The Iranian regime has funded its long reign of chaos and terror by plundering the wealth of its own people. No action taken by the regime has been more dangerous than its pursuit of nuclear weapons and the means of delivering them. In 2015, the previous administration joined with other nations in a deal regarding Iran's nuclear program. This agreement was known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. In theory, the so-called Iran deal was supposed to protect the United States and our allies from the lunacy of an Iranian nuclear bomb, a weapon that will only endanger the survival of the Iranian regime. In fact, the deal allowed Iran to continue enriching uranium and, over time, reach the brink of a nuclear breakout. The deal lifted crippling economic sanctions on Iran in exchange for very weak limits on the regime's nuclear activity and no limits at all on its other malign behavior, including its sinister activities in Syria, Yemen, and other places all around the world. In other words, at the point when the United States had maximum leverage, this disastrous deal gave this regime, and it's a regime of great terror, many billions of dollars some of it in actual cash. A great embarrassment to me as a citizen.
Yep.
And to all citizens of the United States.
Absolutely.
A constructive deal could easily have been struck at the time.
Yes.
But it wasn't.
Right?
At the heart of the Iran deal was a giant fiction that a murderous regime desired only a peaceful nuclear energy program. Today, we have definitive proof that this Iranian promise was a lie. Last week, Israel published intelligence documents, long concealed by Iran, conclusively showing the Iranian regime and its history of pursuing nuclear weapons.
Well, we get the message here. I don't actually know too much about it, but look, Trump said when he was running that he's going to pull out of the Iran deal, and that's the bottom line. So Obama's lackeys have been out in force, bad-mouthing Trump and saying that if he pulled out of the deal, it would be catastrophic. So in other words, you're going to pay somebody not to nuke you? I mean, are you kidding me? That's crazy. So, anyway, moving right along, Obama's UN ambassador and pro-Palestinian flunky, Samantha Powers, tweeted, we know about her too. I will never forget the dark cloud that hung over the White House in the year Iran was advancing nuclear program, and Obama was briefed on all the risks of using military force. She added, Trump has demolished America's credibility and paved the way for Iran to restart its nuclear program. Trump has done the unthinkable, isolated the U.S. and railed the world around Iran. The cost of using military force have only increased. Okay, now that doesn't. Listen. They were funneling the money into their pockets. The deep state. That's what it is. Iran didn't take all the money. You're going to tell me Obama sent all the money only to Iran? You think they didn't have a hand in putting their hand in that cash? Are you kidding me? If you believe that, you believe anything. That's why they want the money. They want the Iran deal so they can get money out of and put it in their pockets. And Trump is cutting the funding for all these shenanigans. Ms. Powers is a liar. Iran never stopped its nuclear program, and they have been laughing their butts off in Tehran ever since Obama bowed down like a supplicant, whatever that is, asking for forgiveness and giving them billions, all the while knowing they were never going to stop producing you know what. Former President Obama and his tight circle of loyalists know this is the darkest secret which they kept from the American people. Now they are terrified as Trump tells the world Obama knew all along Iran wasn't even going to comply with the Iran deal. Foreign policy expert Nate Jackson reported Obama's new deal was built on lies. Just as we said from the beginning, the worst part is that Obama and his Secretary of State, John Kerry, were duped. They were part of the con, all in search of a legacy for Obama, and what a horrible legacy it was too. Listen, this is a crock. What they're talking about, their legacy and this and that. It's the deep state taking money and putting it in their pockets. There's no way. This is, I bet anything. That's the whole thing. They wanted to take the money. That's why they brought the cash, so they can pocket the cash, untraceable. Come on. I mean, really? Nobody that writes articles, they don't say anything. What is this? I don't know. Anyway, this is why Obama's former Secretary of State, John Kerry, went rogue. Yeah, because he wants the money too, although they're not saying that. Violating the Logan Act, yeah, sure. He'll violate any act when he's got to put money in his pocket. As the Hill reported, former Secretary of State John Kerry had reportedly been meeting with the Iranian locateurs, oh well, whatever, and strategizing with them in a way that one can only assume is meant to counter the Trump team's approach and limit its options. So the yesterday's Donald Trump's tweet, to John Kerry, we saw that one. The United States does not need John Kerry's possibly illegal shadow diplomacy on the very badly negotiated Iran deal. He was the one that created this mess in the first place. You know, they were milking this system. That's what they were milking America dry. That's the bottom line. Whether anybody wants to believe that, that's the whole thing. Anyway, Kerry knew if Trump pulled out, he and Barack would be exposed, so he ran around contacting Iranian officials when he has no authority. Okay, only a desperate man horrified with the thought that Americans would find out the truth that he and his boss Obama were in on the con would act in such an illegal and reckless manner. What con are they talking about here? Bloomberg's Eli Lake reported beyond the fate of the deal, the Israeli intelligence also presents a crisis for the 1970 non-proliferation treaty, to which Iran is a member. Now verified, it shows that Iran has systematically lied to weapons inspectors for nearly 20 years. If Iran doesn't pay a price for its deception, then what is to stop future rogues from following the Iran model? As Trump concludes his speech today, he pointed out that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is on his way to North Korea. This was done today to also show Kim Jong-un that America isn't playing around. Trump's actions make it clear to North Korea that the only path they have is to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. Sean Davis here, with the Paris climate deal dead, another place where the deep state was putting money into their pockets, another rip-off, you get it? What do you think, they care about climate change and that? No, it was to milk this country dry. That's what they were doing. And they were putting it in their pockets, this Paris climate deal. Let the liberal nut jobs pay for that. Anyway, getting back to this, the Iran deal on life support, this was at 9:44 a.m. And Obamacare eviscerated. Obama's only real legacy at this point is the presidency of Donald Trump. I say, if Obama didn't rip the country off, enough, the purse strings are being cut. That's what's going on. The deep state is getting out of funding. They're losing their funding. Obamacare, Paris climate deal, the Iran deal. Now, come on, he's putting an end to this crap. So as Sean Davis tweeted, with the Paris climate deal dead, the Iran nuclear deal on life support and Obamacare eviscerated, Obama's only real legacy at this point is the presidency of Donald Trump. Barack Obama's darkest secret was his sick allegiance to Iran as he screwed the American people into the deal that was always a con, which he was in on. Okay, maybe that's the way they worded it. It is a con. Today, President Donald Trump has exposed the Obama administration's lies, shredding Barack Obama's so-called accomplishments, I should say thievery, and making his real legacy the presidency of Donald Trump. It is a shame. It is a shame what they have done to this country. I mean, it is really a shame. And I'll go back to the Bushes also. I mean, it is a shame what the Bushes, and then they put in Obama. How do you think Obama came into this office? Through the Bushes also. There's no way. And the Clinton, I mean, this is like, they put the mob to shame, these people. You get what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.